Hi, how are you doing today?
Hi, Chloe.
Hi, so I'm going to ask you a few questions about your asthma, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to start with, what's your name?
Beth Vinas.
And how do I know you?
I'm your mama.
When did you find out you had asthma?
Mostly when I was an adolescent, right, in junior high.
Was there a particular incident that made you think you did, or?
While I was training, and I was in club track, and I had a training period where I could not get my breath, and I had to go to the hospital.
Okay. Can you explain to me what happens inside of your body when you're having an asthma attack, or?
Sure. When you are having an asthma attack, for me, my experience is you're feeling pretty good, but you start to feel like you're breathing through a straw. Sometimes there's wheezing involved, but for me, my lungs close up pretty quickly and I cannot get air. It'll knock me out. I'll black out.
Do you know why that happens, or?
Bad luck. I have exercise-induced asthma and allergy-induced asthma, so as soon as I was, diagnosed after just a few emergency runs as a young person, I learned to use albuterol and some other medications to help prevent an exercise-induced attack or to keep it with me for emergencies.
Have you used the same medication your entire life to deal with asthma, or?
Since I was a young person, there's been a few versions of the same thing over the years, but I've gravitated back to pretty much the same thing I started with.
What medication do you use to help keep your asthma in check?
Well, there are many medications they can prescribe and use. I don't like being on a whole bunch, so I have stuck with the albuterol for when I really just cannot breathe. I'll use an inhaler. It's an inhaler. They also recommend steroids, but I discovered when I was in college that that was not for me.
Why?
The adverse effects on my body were pretty bad. It was pretty negative. I had severe reactions to being on steroids, like bloating, throwing up, inability to do some of the activities that I was taking the steroids for in the first place. So it didn't work for me.
What do steroids do where they're supposed to help with asthma?
They use steroids a lot. It seems to be kind of a fix-all for a lot of things, but it's supposed to control your body's reactions to maybe to asthma or allergies or to exercise. The way that affects in my case, my lungs especially.
So what again was the name of the medication you found that works best for you?
For me, a version, and I have a bunch of different forms that are now, it used to be just it used to be just one brand, but now they have all the kind of store brands, like at Kaiser and stuff, but albuterol is an inhaler.
Albuterol? Can you tell me a little bit about what albuterol does inside your body, or?
Well, they have great charts on YouTube, but it really does open up. It's kind of like if there's a grid and it fills in, a circle fills a circle, it opens up my lungs. So without it, I can black out and suffocate. So I have a secondary medication. I'm sure a lot of people have it, right? So this is an EpiPen. I get packs of 2 prescribed. Don't use them very often, but my whole family knows that I keep 2 in the car and 2 at home. And if I can't breathe, or they catch me blacked out because I couldn't breathe, to get this inside me pretty quickly, I have a pretty quick reaction. It'll be enough to get me to an emergency room or to a doctor.
How does an EpiPen work?
Well, do you want to know how it works?
No, I'm sorry. I've been asking some kind of hard questions, haven't I?
There's 2 ways you could be asking me how it works. There's one, how physically does it work? This is really cool modern day EpiPen. It used to be a little more difficult. And these, you just push right into somebody's body. And it does enable the oxygen to flow. You know, you want oxygen, you need blood, you need oxygen. But I probably could not give you a chemical breakdown. No, you should get that from Ms. Lyman.
When doctors prescribe to you albuterol, is that the right word? Albuterol or steroids or EpiPens or other treatment options, do they explain to you exactly what's happening inside your body, or do they just explain to you the reactions you're going to be having?
When I started all this, I was pretty young, and actually I had a really great doctor because I have allergy-induced asthma and exercise-induced asthma, and actually they had a really great video for me, which I wish I could remember more of, that did show all the chemical breakdowns in your body and what you need and what you don't need and why those medications had the effect they did. So I thought it was pretty cool. But, you know, when you can't breathe, you really don't get picky, to be honest, you know. As far as the other medications, you see commercials all the time for all kinds of asthma treatment medications. It seems like a lot of people have asthma. But for me, the lifestyle of being on 2 to 4 different medications just wasn't really practical for me. I kind of made me grumpy too, made me grumpy guess. So I've just stuck with kind of, you know, formatting my lifestyle to fit better with, you know, asthma, and then obviously avoiding people who smoke, certain kinds of grasses, you know, certain kinds of things that affect my allergy-induced asthma too. Peanuts, can't eat peanuts, stuff like that would just be, you know, kind of self-sabotage. So just stay away from it.
Thank you. You've been so awesome. I just have one last question for you. I was wondering, you already told us that if you're having an asthma attack, you can black out and experience loss of breathing. How do you think your life would be different today if you didn't have means for controlling your attacks?
Oh, I think I could be dead. Yeah, you don't breathe. You stop breathing. It sucks. So absolutely. Self-medication is a huge part of my survival. Yes.
Okay, thank you for your time today. I really appreciate you answering all these questions.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Bye.